What's going on, everybody? Cigar Titan here once again with my good friend Brotha Stogie. Say hello to people.
Yo, what up, Cigar fam?
Brotha Stogie, what is today's episode going to be about?
Yo, check this out, man. You see, I'm all dressed up and pimped out. It's only for one reason. Y'all want to know why? Because this weekend is Father's Day.
That's right.
So we are doing a special dedication to fathers right here on the Cigar Titan channel.
You ready to get started?
Shit, you see my ass? That's right.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. So, Brotha Stogie, before we get started, we have a very, theme-appropriate cigar for today's episode. What is it?
Yep, I went to our folks down at Lordsburg Cigar Lounge. What's that? San Dimas, Glendora, or something like that?
I think that's actually out in Claremont.
Yes. Okay. So we over there, right? So thanks to Lordsburg Cigar Lounge, and I went and picked up. I had to get my father's cigars for the day. So what you got over there, man?
I've got the My Father La Gran Offertera. I think I never know if I'm
King Butcher right there,
right or not, but yeah. So that's what I'm smoking today.
Boom, and I got the My Father La Opulencia Toro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I figured, have to smoke the appropriate cigar for the day.
But Stogie, what are we drinking?
So I got a little. Hey, actually, we took it back to our good friend Lori from Country Smooth, and we are sipping on Country Smooth today. Country Smooth whiskey, American made. She made sure we knew that. She a country girl, you know what I'm saying? She loves America, and she made, this is some good whiskey, y'all.
So like Brother Stogie said, this episode's going to be for fathers, and maybe there's some folks out there, much like myself, who don't have any children, isn't necessarily a father in the most obvious sense, but obviously we've all got fathers, and today I think Brotha Stogie's going to be sharing a little bit about his family. I want to be sharing a little bit about my own family, what they mean to me. So what do you say we get started?
Yeah, man, some personal time with the Cigar Titans. Y'all asked for it. Here it is, y'all.
So Brotha Stogie, how long have you been a father now? For those out there who haven't had the pleasure of watching you grow as a father, as a man.
So I've been a father now for 11 years now. Yes, I'm not a new father, but I'm still in there watching all the new stuff happen as my kids are growing into young men. I got 3 boys. 3 boys. The good thing about them, I can all 3 of them. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like there's a better half of you out there right now that would, if she were here right now, she'd be staring daggers through you.
No. See, the third one, what happened was it was supposed to be a girl, but it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Right now, he just got curls for the girl. So, but yeah, discipline-wise, I could off me and my kids and not feel bad about
it. I assure you, Brotha Stogie is not out there beating his children.
I'm not, but I do punch one.
So what ages are they?
So I got an 11-year-old. I got one that just turned 4 years old. My little middle. I gotta watch what I say, huh? So my middle get into everything boy, and then my little he'll be a year old next month, man.
Man, that's crazy.
He'll be a year old. Yeah. So my wife is here watching. So if y'all see me looking, I'm making sure that I don't get cursed out on the ride home when we leave.
She had to approve this episode.
We don't leave the Cigar Titans movie set, all right? She make sure I'm okay when we leave here. So y'all see me looking like that way, cause she over there. I bought her a My Father cigar too, so I'm in good graces right now. Hey, bro. So we got the table all set up for our Father's Day 4-way today. So let people know what we got sitting on the table right here.
So we got some pictures of your boys and your family, and we got some pictures up here of my father. And for those of you guys who are know me for several years, you'll know that I attribute a lot of who I am and who I've become over the years to the influence my father has had on me over the years. My father's no longer with us, unfortunately. He passed away a few years ago, but he lived a long life and got some time to spend with him. And some of my more fonder memories of my father were, growing up, we didn't have the typical family lifestyle. I say typical, and really, I mean, these days, what is typical when growing up anymore? Right. But we didn't grow up with a lot of means. We were a family that struggled a lot financially growing up. And the one thing I always remember my father doing when we were growing up is, when I was back in my teenage years, my father, we were living actually in a motel about 15 to 20 miles away from where my father worked, and we didn't have a car at the time, so whether it was raining or it was super cold, it didn't matter. My father would get up every single morning at 3 o'clock in the morning. He'd get ready, he'd get on his bicycle, and he'd ride his bicycle. I know this sounds funny, like an exaggeration, but it really isn't. He'd ride his bike 15 to 20 miles one way to work every single day for 10 to 12 hours a day before he'd ride his bike back to the motel where we were staying at the time, just to make sure that we had clothes on our back and food on our plate.
That's what fathers do. So don't understand goofy or none of that about that story, because that's what fathers do. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep it real today. So I was blessed to be able to meet his father before he passed, and he was a very caring man, very nice guy. I didn't have the opportunity of growing up with mine the way I would have, had liked to, the way I see, friends of mine growing up with their fathers.
But whether a father is involved in your life or not, they always have an influence on your life. And what lessons did he teach you?
Always teach you something, you know what I'm saying? So the way he decided to do his life and handle his business, you know what I'm saying? I learned from that. So that's what makes me the magnificent father I am today, you know what I'm saying? So I do thank you for that. We won't go into any further, but yes. My family is here, and we'll put some closer snapshots so you guys can see a clearer picture of what we have going on the table, and I guess it's kind of like Father's Day is kind of like what does that mean? Like, what is Father's Day? It has a certain meaning, and for me, it has a real purpose for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was raised by my mother. My mother kind of did that. But no matter how much a single mother can do for her son, we still need that fatherly influence. We still need that man figure in our life. And, I had to kind of, outreach as a youngster to kind of find, what I wanted to find in myself as a man. Those are like real complex things that most people don't really think about raising a child or even as a young man growing up, So I had to kind of find my way as a man to actually become one.
Yeah, and I've had similar experiences to Brother Stogie, where there were things that my father fell short on, and just he didn't have the means to teach me certain things. He was limited by some skill sets, and so I have a close friend. You know him very well. His name's Scott, and Scott's father and his mother were like my second family growing up. They were there really, whether they knew it or not, they were teaching me a lot of values. It may not have seemed so obvious at the time, because I'll be honest, when I was that age, I was listening, but I wasn't really putting into place some of the things that I was being taught. And it wasn't until I got a little older when I realized, the words that they were saying to me and the things that they were saying to me, and what kind of a meaning that actually had and an impact on my life.
Right, exactly, man. So we're gonna kind of steer this to kind of like the joys of fatherhood, and this is kind of like, I have to, I feel blessed to be able to show my boy the joys of being a father. I have 3 boys. I've been able to watch them go out of the rooter from the tutor of their mothers out into this world. I've been able to, create. It's like it's God's blessing, and it's ridiculous to be able to see them grow, walk, talk, learn what to say, learn their first curse words, and then slap them silly because they're not supposed to say it anyway. Having them watch their dad, groom their beard in the bathroom, and then mirror their fathers and what they do. 2 of them might have taken my clippers to their own scalp because they wanted to be like dad, but I cried, went to the barbershop, Shading them both bald. You know what I'm saying? Both my boys were ski ball for like 2 damn weeks. They took my damn clippers to their head.
It seems like every kid has got to do that at
Man,
least
dude,
once.
and hey, so I'm the one. I mean, y'all see me all dressed up. I do the same thing for my kids. You know what I'm saying? So I make sure their hair is fly. The oldest one had a little fro hawk. The little one had his little curl with his little ducktail in the back. They butchered it. Hey yo, so the term father, that is like an embodiment of like, you get a thesaurus, I could put like 1 trillion words in the word father, and I would kind of put it all in capital letters. You know what I'm saying? So one word that goes into the word father is man. So what is it about being a man that you think that would encompass in being a father? Or just being a man, period. What does that mean to you?
I think the example that my father set for me was him just being very selfless in his actions. He didn't have to do a lot of the things he did for me and for my sister growing up. And, he could have easily just said, you know what, I'm not going to work a job where I have to get on my bike at 4 o'clock in the morning and ride 15 miles,
right?
And then work a 12-hour shift 6 days a week and then ride that same bike back home another 15 miles for what little we had. And we really didn't have a lot to show for, at that time. But, I think the lesson that I took out of that experience, I've carried that with me through my entire life, through my career, through my personal life. I very distinctly remember having those thoughts that this is not how I want my life to be when I get older. Mm-hmm. And my father was very much a supporter of me and what I wanted to do, and was constantly encouraging me and wouldn't let me slack off, even on the days where I felt like I didn't want to, and I wasn't the best kid growing up either. Got into a lot of trouble, did a bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have did.
We all do.
Right, but he was always my biggest fan. He was always the person to pick me up off of my feet when I would fall down. And then there were times where I fell down, and as a man, you've got to learn how to be able to pick yourself back up. And my father did a really good job sometimes of like not jumping ahead and grabbing my hand and pulling me back up, teaching me to get back up on my own.
Yeah. Really important is to be able to let your kids, especially the young boys, learn how to fall. They have to learn how to fall. They have to learn, and most importantly, they have to learn how to get up on their own.
100%. So talk a little bit about that. I mean, you as a father, what are the values that you're looking to instill in your children that they carry on when they have their own?
Man, you asked that question. All right, y'all ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. Man, so most important thing, I want to always make sure that I was a man that my kids looked up to. And not only my kids, but my wife. You know what I'm saying? Because, biblical stance, we are to hold our household together. We have, some of you seen like some artists, some pictures where the world is sitting on the man's back and you have the kids and the wife underneath them and they're protecting them from, anything that may come their way. And I embody that everything about that, I make sure that I encompass in being a father, being a man, being a husband. And I just feel like just protecting them from everything in this world is important, teaching them the lessons that they need to learn from taking care of each other. You got brothers and sisters, the bond has to be strong. Look out for each other. Because unfortunately, the times that we're in, you have to protect your family from what's out there. You don't know what's out there. People have, ulterior motives. Family comes first. You know what I'm saying? And family comes in many forms. But for our kids, I have to make sure that what I do, they gonna mimic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out there doing stupid stuff. They gonna see it. They gonna think it's okay. So I have to make sure that I'm holding an image that I'll be proud of. So when I do leave this earth, my kids will be, you know what? My dad did that. I'm gonna follow my dad's footsteps. And that's a burden every day. Not a burden, but it's I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's kind of it's tough to carry that on, knowing that you know what I'm saying, that much pressure is on you. So
Well, I have to say,
go ahead.
Brother Stogie and I have known each other a very long time. I knew Brother Stogie well before he had his first child, and I have been fortunate enough and blessed enough to have a good relationship with with several very good fathers. And Brother Stogie is absolutely no exception to that. To raise 3 men, balance a house, work a full-time job, keep a marriage together, that is no easy task for any man to do.
And become a cigar titan.
A cigar titan, right.
So, yeah, I'm supposed to do that on camera. He ain't gonna edit that out, I want everybody to see that, because that's like real stuff. Yeah, so your wife handed me a napkin, you know what I'm saying? I need that. This is real stuff. I want to make sure that we did this episode because we don't see much, on social media about the realness of being men, about the realness of being a father, and we wanted to bring that to y'all.
So we've had some time today to kind of share our thoughts and our memories about what it means to be a father and the fathers who made an impact in our lives. We'd love to extend the same courtesy to all of our viewers out there. We would love to hear what some of your memories are, of being a father or of your father. Please comment below.
Yes.
Let us know. We'd love to hear that.
Yes. And so what we want to do at the very end, I'm not done yet though, but this is this is what we like to involve our audience, you know what I'm saying? So if this was the last video that will go inside of a time capsule,
right,
that our children will see, in the future, we want a legacy to be able to continue then. We want you to comment down below, because we getting ready to switch on and off on what we think ours are going to be. Comment below on what legacy you want your kids to know about or to carry on from their father. So Cigar Titan, so what is a legacy, that you would want your kids to carry on?
Well, I think the first step in this whole process is Cigar Titan needs to have some kids.
Yes.
So
he ain't got no kids, y'all.
That hasn't happened yet. However,
you watch his mind from time to time.
And I have been involved, in helping raise, a very special person, in the past, and she's grown up to be a very, very smart, very talented young woman, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of an impact she's going to have on the world. But if we're talking about what kind of a legacy I would like to leave behind, I think for me that has yet to be written. There's still so many things out there that I personally want to accomplish, and I really don't think you can understand what it means to be a father until you've had children of your own. And biologically, that just hasn't happened for me yet. So I think that's a chapter of my life that has yet to be written. I'm curious to see how it turns out. But what about you, Brother Stogie?
Me too, shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see him not be able to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning because he got to warm up a day on bottle in the microwave. I would order the pot, I want to see that. Anyway, so... Hey, man, so, my leg, check this out. So I've grown, damn near 40 years old. I want my kids to be able to know that their father's legacy was to love everybody, period. And love everybody, see people for who they are. People will show you who they are, and when they do, believe it.
So, that's all we got time for today.
No, it's not.
Anything you want to end on?
I got a message, damn it.
Oh, shit.
And I'm about to sit in front of the camera. If I cry, so what? Y'all keep watching this damn video. But check this out. So we talked about all the good fathers out there, right? So 11 years being a father, I want to point out everybody who has kids for the fun of it. Right? Got my serious face on. The shit is not a game. You out there making kids just because, the shit ain't cool. Right? What I do is hard. As Samuel L. Jackson said, hard goddamn work. And for you to leave kids out there to fend for themselves, and they need their damn father. Worthless. Man your shit up and take care of your kids. Cause they need both their mother and their father. Now pity any man. Now no damn pity. I look down on any man that will produce a kid and not take care of it. Period. If you're new to our channel, damn it, subscribe.
All right.
Hit the like button. If you want to know every time we post a new video, hit that damn bell so you get new notification every time Cigar Titan posts a new video. Shout out to the fathers that we know, Rob and Rich from Clever Lounge, our boy Mario, aka Stay Gold on Instagram, our other boy Mario, Freedom Fighter on Instagram, Cigar Czar, Robert Salazar, and all other fathers that we know that take care and handle their business.
Shout out to my brother.
All.
Shout out to
yes. The Irish kills me. What the hell is that?
I'm fucking why not?
You know what I'm saying?
Kilted craftsman.
Kilted craftsman. Our boy that made all this here. He's out there. You know what I'm saying? Take care of his baby girl. You know what I'm saying? And he took on another one, and he's taking care of her too.
That's
yes.
right.
So shout out to all the fathers who do their thing. Until next time, live how you smoke. Smoke how you live. Red bottom hat. And that's smooth, baby.
Take care, everybody.